Okay, so hi everyone. Thanks for joining us for today's meeting. So, for the newcomer, P.S. Winnie, do you like to give us a little self introduction?
Sure, yeah. My name's Paul Sweeney. I'm just interested in KubeVela. I think it will meet our needs, but I have yet to get to the place where I can do a proof of concept. But yeah, interested to hear what's being discussed.
Great. So let's get started. First, I'm going to share my screen. So today, here's our today's agenda, and we're gonna have a highlight show in KubeVela 1.4. So first, I'm gonna show you our new version of VelaUX. We have some new capabilities like resource topology, manage multi-component trees and policies. Also, we have some customized UX for our definitions. And after that, I'm gonna give you a little demo for our new powerful workflow with some substeps and if conditions. Okay, so first, we can take a look at this ValueX. So in order to for everyone to experience KubeVela's new capabilities, the community has built a quick experience ValueX Platform site. So you are welcome to use this link, demo.kubevela.net. You can use this. I have already sent the site and the account as well as the password to the Slack channel. So you can use the demo and the password to log in. So as you can see, there's some applications in here, and we can first take a look at this game 2042. So you can see that this application is already deployed to the default environment, and we can click the tab here. So you can see there's some status. We can see the component resources status here. Also, we have this new resource graph here. So if you click that and wait for some seconds, you can see all the resource topologies here. So the first icon here is our application. And after that, the first layer, you can see that it is the cluster, or you can see its environment. So this game application is deployed to two environments. The first one is local, and the second one is called ASK-Hong Kong. So in each environment, we have this. The first is the deployment, and second is service. So after that, so we can see at each resources here. So like some replica set, the pod, and endpoints. And if you click the pod here, you can also see the logs here. There's some error in this application, but I can show some more. So also in this version, we can take a look at this online booking. So in this application, you can see that there are multi components here. There are so many components here, and in ValueX, we used to support only one component, and now we can support multiple components here. So also in this resource graph, you have to take a little while to see all the graphs here. It's have so many resources. So okay, you can see that the resource graph is so big, and we can check the logs here. Yeah. Also, there's some other interesting feature that the ValueX have. We can see all our definitions in this tab, and you can see that some of the definitions is not enabled, but we can take this web service as an example. So in the right side of the page, you can see that it is what this definition like in the dashboard. Also, you can see it's in the ValueX. So But but under this dashboard show, you can see that in fact is some YAML files. So I can just change the fields here. For example, I can edit it to my test. And you can see that in the preview part, the label show here is now become my test. So you can use this tool to build your own definition in the ValueX. Also, there's some more interesting thing, like if you, we can see that in the validate field, it is now a required field, but you can change it to false. And now it's not required. So if you just change the definition, change the schema in here, you can see all the preview, so that you can just apply these YAML files to your cluster, and in the dashboard you have deployed. In the ValueX dashboard, you have deployed to your own environment. The schema will be what you like. Also, there's some UI type, like this is image input, or it's some memory number. And you can also see the style here. So I can change it to like 24, so it's become much more longer. And some default value here, you can see we can change it. So that's the tool that you can apply to your own, for you to better to build your own ValueX site. So, any questions for the ValueX?
Hi, so yeah, I guess I'm just wondering, I see the value of KubeVela being, you specify the OAM, is it, sorry, the right acronym, the application definition, and then KubeVela spins it out into the definitions and the bare objects in Kubernetes. It seems to me this is the opposite. This is kind of editing stuff by hand. And it seems like they work in different directions. Do you have any thoughts on that?
I'm quite confused. Do you mean that the definitions is only for the Kubernetes resources?
Yeah, is that, oh, sorry, is that not what we're showing? Is this the application definition that you're editing?
Oh, okay. It's just the most common definition that we use is called web service. And yeah, for web service, its only usage is to apply a deployment to the result to the clusters. But for other definitions here, I might not show you. For example, actually, I don't think I have enabled add-on. So here's come to another part of KubeVela that we have integrated so many add-ons here. Like, for example, the Terraform add-on. So if you have enabled this Terraform add-on, there'll be some more built-in definitions, like you can use Terraform HCL in the definitions. So you can just orchestrate your Terraform cloud resources with Kubernetes resources, and some more abstraction. So
if I can interrupt, I think I could provide probably another view of just that question. So I think that what you are referring is true, like the applications are defined in OAM, and KubeVela is the runtime that will render basically the deployments and the stuff. The thing is that the demo we are seeing right now is more on the VelaUX side. So they are editing like the definitions that you can use in your applications. And if you want to use the UI to then fill out the application itself, they're changing basically that part, if I understood correctly.
Okay, so this is as an alternative to GitOps, where you would commit the an application declaration and have it spun out. This is an alternative where you use a UI to do that, right?
This is the UI way to spawn application. Like there is a whole UI, but you can use, if you want, just the runtime and say kubectl create an application definition, like the old way, you can do that. If you want to use the UX. So this is just an example of how you can basically tailor the way you want to show a particular definition for your use case, if you want to do that, let's say.
Can we lock that out so that you can give, for instance, developers permissions to look at what's there, but not let them edit? Is there permissions built in?
Yeah, so
I cannot answer for that in this part, but you can do that in Kubernetes for sure. But I will let they continue.
Sure, I probably jumped ahead. Thank you.
okay, yeah. So now KubeVela has some two products. So the first is VelaUX. It's a dashboard. You can get started with it. It's more easy to get started. So, and the most important is VelaCore. So you can use kubecontrol to use it. And if there's no other problems about this VelaUX, I'm gonna show you the next part, the new capability in VelaCore workflow. Okay, so can you see my terminal?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. So first, we can take a look at this success.yaml. So in this application YAML, you can see that in the workflow field, the first step is the normal step that we will apply a component called express server 1. And the second step, its type is step group, in which we can specify substeps in this step. So in substeps, all the steps will run in a DAG mode. It means that the steps in this step group will run in parallel. So I can just apply this to the cluster. So yes, as you can see, the first the express-server 1 is running, and after it's healthy, the 2 and 3 will apply in parallel. So that's what this substep can do. This capability is also supported by the community that some of our users really want these substeps. I think. We can take a look at this application status that you can see. Also in the status, the first is the normal step and the second is the step group. So every step group's substeps is also recorded in the status. So like a normal step, you can use depends on or inputs outputs in the step group. For example, we can take a look at this system depends.yaml. So in this file, the first we will apply a server 1, and the second in the step group will first apply this express-server 3. That's because our server 2 will depend on the server 3. So first delete the last one. So the first, the express server 1 is running, and after that, the server 3 is up. And finally, you can see the server 2 is up. So that's all of our substeps. Is there any questions about this?
I have a question. when you say depends on, it's just that the deployment has at least one replica, or what is like how do you basically compute the healthiness of the dependency?
Oh yeah, so that's actually our definition part. Sorry. So actually in our definition, in the web service definition, you can see that in this application, all the components definition is web service, and in web service definition, there is a called a custom status field. In it will compare the expected replicas to the replicas now. So if it's equal to this component definition, status will become healthy.
Okay.
You can also check the source code in the KubeVela repository. So, okay, if there's no problem about these substeps. Okay, next I'm gonna show you a new feature in KubeVela 1.4. It's called IfAlways. You might be familiar with it in GitHub Action Runner since it's quite similar. You can check out the demo file here. So in this application, the first step is webhook error, and this step will actually failed. And after the first step is failed after retries, the second step, you can see it's a notification, and the notification has some if field, and its value is always. It means that this step will be executed no matter what. So, and the third step, there's no some if field here, so the third step will be skipped. Okay. You can see now that this time this application's status is workflow terminated, and you can check the status here. You can see that the first step is actually failed, and its reason is failed after retries. And the second step, its phase is succeeded because we have specified that if always in its step. And the third step, its phase is skipped. And you can check out the Slack channel that I have. It's my test channel, and my bot says always. It's what we specify in the second step here. So I use this notification and I specify Slack here, and the message is always. Also, if you don't use this, if always, the second notification will be skipped, and there's no other skip message in the Slack channel. Yeah. Is there any questions? Okay, so.
Oh, it's great demo. Let's continue.
Okay, so I have done all my demos, and is there any questions for the newcomers that not commented in this issue? All right, so I think I have done all of our agendas today. So if there's no other questions, we're gonna end this meeting today.
It was very useful. Thank you.
Thank you. So
Yeah, it was great. Thanks.
okay.
Thank you, Fog.
Okay, thanks for joining us today. And the recorder of this meeting will be uploaded to the OAM channel in YouTube. And so the meeting's over, and hope you all have a good day. See you next time.
And you.
One more
Bye.
thing, all
Yeah.
these features are released in the 1.4 version. You can just try it by yourself or use the demo website, the demo.kuvela.net.
Yeah, I have sent the account and the password to the Slack channel.
Okay, bye-bye.
Okay,
Good.
bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Yeah.